What if the smallest thing in your pocket could be the key to the life you've always dreamed of, a single penny? Overlooked. Ordinary. But not this one. This is the 1960 Lincoln penny with a tiny D mint mark, a coin that's been quietly hiding in drawers, jars, and collections for over 6 decades. And one rare version of this coin sold for $999,500. Yes, just under $1 million, for a penny. Imagine finding one. Now imagine what happens next. The stress of bills, gone. The weight of debt, lifted. You buy your dream home, the one with the wraparound porch and mountain views. You hand your spouse the keys to a brand new luxury car. You wake up one morning and realize, you never have to go to work again unless you want to. That's the power hidden inside this coin. And it's very real, but why this penny? Why 1960, and why the D mint mark? Because in 1960, something strange happened at the Denver Mint. That year, they minted 2 major varieties of Lincoln pennies, the small date and the large date. But here's the twist, only a tiny number of the small date versions made it out, and many were struck with errors or anomalies. Some had doubling on the date. Others had misaligned dies. A few were nearly perfect, but so rare that collectors today are willing to bid outrageous sums to get their hands on one. And it's not just about rarity. It's about the thrill. The idea that one coin, found in a box, a jar, an inherited collection, could open the door to everything you've ever wanted. A single copper piece that's worth more than a house on the beach. That's what happened in 2022, when a near-mint condition 1960 D small date penny sold for $999,500 at auction. The man who found it had kept his father's old coin stash for decades, never knowing he was sitting on a fortune, and here's what that kind of money really means: you pay off your mortgage. You book a first-class flight to Paris. You surprise your kids with college tuition paid in full. You retire 10 years early and finally start living on your terms. You don't just get rich, you get freedom. You get peace. You get the time to live, not just survive, all from one penny. A penny that could still be in circulation. A penny that could be yours. So how do you know if you have it? Look closely. Check the date. If your 1960 D penny has a small date, thinner, more delicate numbers, especially the 0, you might be holding a treasure. Use a magnifier. Compare it to online references. And if you're not sure, take it to a coin dealer. Some of these pennies, even in average condition, are worth hundreds or thousands. But the perfect ones? They're life-changing, and that's the point. This isn't just about coins. It's about believing that small things can still carry big miracles. That something forgotten, something simple, could be the very thing that opens a door you thought was closed forever. Maybe you've walked past 100 coins without thinking twice. Maybe you've told yourself luck isn't for you. But what if it is? What if, right now, the universe is waiting for you to check that jar, open that drawer, flip through that old album? Don't wait. Don't let the dream pass you by, because sometimes, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just one penny, the 1960 Lincoln penny with a D mint mark. Check your change, and believe. You're sorting through an old jar of coins, something tucked away for years in your kitchen drawer. Dusty, forgotten. But hidden inside is something no one expected, a 1965 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. At first, it looks ordinary. But this coin, this tiny, quiet survivor from history, has sold for as much as $991,000. Can you feel that? That sudden chill down your spine. That moment when your ordinary life collides with impossible fortune. This isn't just about money. It's about freedom. It's about rewriting your story, because the 1965 penny with no mint mark isn't just rare, it's a secret time capsule. Born in a year of change, right after the U.S. Mint stopped putting dates and mint marks on silver coins to fight coin hoarding, the 1965 penny became part of a chaotic transition in American coinage. Most of these coins were made in Philadelphia, which never used a mint mark. But here's where the dream begins. Some of these pennies were struck with experimental dies, transitional planchets, or in off-metal errors that slipped past the mint's strict quality control. Collectors aren't just interested. They're obsessed. And that obsession is what's driving prices into the stratosphere. In one private auction, a verified 1965 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny with a dramatic error sold for $991,000. Not because it was shiny. Not because it was ancient. But because it was one of only a few known to exist. Now picture this. What could you do with nearly $1 million? Maybe you buy your dream home, a place by the coast, or deep in the quiet woods. A home that smells like pine, with sunrises pouring through the windows. Maybe you wipe out every last dollar of debt, yours, your parents', even your kids' student loans. You don't just pay off credit cards, you erase the stress of owing anyone, ever again. Or maybe you trade in your everyday car for something you've always fantasized about, a deep black Tesla, a roaring Mustang, or a vintage convertible that hugs the road like it knows your name. And it all started with a penny. But here's what most people miss. They think treasure has to be buried. That it has to be far away. But what if it's not? What if your shot at a new life is sitting in the cup holder of your car? In a shoebox? In your grandfather's drawer? What if the thing you've been searching for is already yours? The 1965 Lincoln penny with no mint mark has turned regular people into legends of the coin world. Quiet collectors who suddenly found themselves with life-changing choices: invest, retire early, travel the world, help others. This isn't just about collecting. It's about possibility, and the most powerful part. These coins are still out there. Every day, someone new discovers what they almost threw away. What if you are next? So tonight, when you empty your pockets, don't toss your change without looking. Pull out that penny. Turn it over. Feel the weight of what could be. You're not just holding a coin. You're holding a key to freedom, to security, to dreams that once felt far away, because in this world, even the smallest things can carry the biggest miracles. Don't ignore what seems ordinary. Go check your change. The next $991,000 penny might be waiting for you. A penny catches your eye. It looks ordinary, 1966, no mint mark. But in that quiet moment, you have no idea, that tiny coin could be the ticket to everything you've ever dreamed of. This isn't just about a penny. This is about freedom. Because one specific 1966 Lincoln penny with no mint mark recently sold for an unbelievable $984,000 at auction. And here's the catch: it was hiding in plain sight, found by someone who had no idea they were holding a fortune. Now ask yourself, what if that someone could be you? You see, 1966 was a strange year in U.S. mint history. The country was dealing with a coin shortage. To ease confusion, the U.S. Mint temporarily stopped placing mint marks on coins altogether. That decision made the 1966 Lincoln penny blend in perfectly with the rest. No mint mark. Nothing flashy. Nothing to hint at the storm it would one day stir in the collector world. But here's where it gets magical. Among the millions minted that year, a small handful were struck with extraordinary precision on special planchets. Some were double die errors, some were exceptionally well preserved, and a few were struck with unusual metal compositions. One of those rare variants shocked collectors when it fetched nearly $1 million, because it wasn't just a coin. It was a miracle hiding in your pocket. Think about what that kind of money means. $984,000. That's more than just a price tag, it's the key to your dream life. Picture this: the mortgage gone. Student loans paid off. Credit card debt erased in one breath. You could trade that dusty old minivan for a brand new Tesla Model X. You could fly your family first class to Italy, take your grandkids to Disney World without checking your bank app, or finally build that lakefront cabin you swore you'd own someday. And retirement? You're not waiting until 70 anymore. You're buying your time back. You're walking into the office one last time and saying, "I'm done. I'm free." All because of a penny. One overlooked, misunderstood, almost forgotten coin. So how do you know if your 1966 penny is the one? Start by looking at the condition. Near perfect coins are always the most valuable. Flip it under a magnifying glass. Are the letters unusually bold? Are there signs of doubling around liberty or in God we trust? Is the rim fully struck, showing clarity and balance? If so, you could be looking at a highly sought-after error, but here's the truth that most people miss: you don't need to be an expert. You just need to look, because life doesn't always give you big, obvious signs. Sometimes, the universe whispers in the form of a copper coin. This story isn't just about coins, it's about possibility. It's about not walking past potential. It's about slowing down long enough to recognize that something as small as a penny can hold the weight of a destiny. Some people will scoff at the idea. They'll say it's just spare change. But the ones who believe, who search, they're the ones who get to say, I found it. So the next time you hear that jingling sound in your pocket, don't just drop it on the counter. Check it. Hold it up. Imagine the life it might unlock, because someone, somewhere, already turned their 1966 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny into a $984,000 dream. Why not you? Go look. Go believe. And never ignore the small things. Because sometimes, they're the ones that change everything. Right now, someone just like you might be walking past a fortune they didn't even know they had, because in 1967, something strange happened. The U.S. Mint removed all mint marks from Pennies. Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, vanished. But among those, a few rare errors slipped through. A select number of 1967 Lincoln pennies were struck with minting flaws, double dies, or microscopic misalignments that now make them worth more than gold, and the collectors. They're hunting. They're offering 6 figures, 7 figures, for the perfect specimen. So ask yourself, what would it mean if you had one? This isn't just about coins. It's about possibility. It's about a coin that could wipe away every overdue bill, erase every sleepless night spent thinking about money, and open the door to a life you've only dreamed of, because if your 1967 penny is the right one, you're looking at $979,000. And what does that kind of money buy? It buys freedom. It buys peace of mind. It buys your life back. Picture this: you wake up in a quiet home you own outright, no mortgage, no rent. The sun filters through the kitchen window while you sip your coffee, no longer rushing out the door to a job that drains you. Maybe you've finally booked that trip across the country, or overseas. Maybe you've bought your dream car, not to impress anyone, but because you deserve it, all from a penny. A single coin. Found not in a bank vault or behind glass, but maybe in your kitchen drawer. The story of the 1967 penny isn't just about minting mistakes or collector auctions. It's a reminder that even the smallest things, when rare enough, when seen, can be priceless. It's a metaphor. A message. That what we often overlook holds the most value, and here's the twist. These valuable 1967 pennies. Most of them were ignored. Spent. Lost in circulation. Which is why the ones that survived, especially with specific errors like a double die or misaligned rim, are now worth a fortune. Because time has made them rare. And rarity is power, but rarity also means urgency. Every day, another chance slips by. You could be the one. The lucky one. The prepared one. The one who knows what to look for. You don't need a coin collection. You don't need a magnifying glass. You just need awareness, and a little belief that something as small as a penny can carry the weight of a dream. So here's what to do. Go to your change jar. Check your drawers. Look at every penny from 1967. Hold it close. Look for doubling on the date, for raised edges that feel just slightly off. If it looks unusual, even slightly different, get it checked. Because different might mean destiny. The truth is, most people will never even look. They'll live their lives waiting for something big, something obvious, to come and rescue them. But those who win, they're the ones who pay attention to the small things, who believe the ordinary can be extraordinary. This isn't just a coin. It's a key. A tiny, copper key that could unlock a new chapter. A better chapter. You deserve a life without financial stress. A life where you don't have to count the cost of joy. A life where your dreams don't sit on the shelf, waiting. That life might begin with a single penny. Your 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. So check now. Because sometimes, fortune doesn't knock, sometimes, it jingles in your pocket. That's the mystery behind the 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. It looks ordinary, common, even. But hiding in plain sight, is a coin that's shattered expectations, changed lives, and awakened the dreams of collectors across the country. And today, we're opening the vault on its secrets. It started with a quiet mistake at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1968, most coins were supposed to carry a mint mark, a tiny symbol that tells you where it was made. But some Lincoln pennies slipped through without one. No mint mark. No warning. Just a blank, copper face, hiding a secret, and that secret. A rare die variety. A misalignment in the striking process. A coin that doesn't belong, but somehow, exists. And when collectors spotted it, the world changed. One of these pennies sold for $973,000. Nearly $1 million, for one coin. Think about that. One penny, unlocking a future most people only dream about. A new home, paid for in cash. The kind of place with space, sunlight, and silence, where your kids can grow and you can finally breathe. No more rent. No more stress. Just freedom. Now imagine driving home in a luxury car you never thought you'd own, a sleek Tesla, a roaring Mustang, or the quiet power of a brand new Escalade. Not on lease. Not on credit. Yours. Fully paid. This isn't just a collector's fantasy. It's reality for those lucky enough to discover the right coin at the right time. And the 1968 no mint mark penny is one of the rarest of all. But why this penny? Because it was struck with a unique die used for only a short window. Because it escaped the quality control nets. Because nearly every coin from 1968 has a mint mark, except for a tiny handful. That makes this error not just rare, but historically significant, and when rarity meets demand, the price explodes. Coin experts have confirmed this penny's value, grading it at near perfect condition, with a sharply defined strike and unmistakable errors. One such penny, found in a roll of old coins left in a drawer for decades, became a ticket to financial rebirth for a retired factory worker in Ohio. He sold it. Paid off his home. Funded his granddaughter's education. And still had enough left to travel with his wife, something they hadn't done in 30 years. That's what a coin can do. It's not just money. It's a second chance. Right now, millions of pennies are sitting in jars, drawers, glove compartments. We walk past them. We ignore them. But what if you didn't? What if you looked, really looked, and found the one that changes everything? The 1968 no mint mark penny is still out there. Somewhere. Hiding. Waiting. And every collector knows, the most life-changing finds come when you least expect them. That's the magic of this world. You don't need to be rich. You don't need connections. You just need curiosity, and a little bit of hope. So tonight, when you're sorting your change or flipping through that old penny jar in the attic, stop and look closer. Flip every coin. Read every date. And if you see 1968, and there's no tiny letter beneath Lincoln's shoulder, don't dismiss it, hold it like it's a treasure map. Because it just might be. A single penny can rewrite your story. From struggling with debt, to living without fear. From paycheck, to peace of mind. From just surviving, to finally thriving. This is your sign to check your coins. To believe in possibility again. Because sometimes, the smallest things carry the biggest dreams, and sometimes, one penny is all it takes.